There's like 4 inputs and only one of them's coming through. I don't know what it's been set up weird.
Yeah, and that's a bold start from Storm 2. They had 3 balls, they threw 2 singles at 2 different targets. It's brave if you want to give Meteors 4 balls straight from the off, isn't it?
It is, and it's such, like you said, it's that huge sort of like big risk when you're putting everything on the line from the get-go. Please do say if there is any problems with the microphones. We are still testing and trying a new headset time, but that is
it's a really good free throw.
And there's some good trades in that as well. Obviously, they've taken out Tim Day. Tim Day is then obviously responded on by Christofferson. Then Christofferson's also hit. It's that trading that you're looking for. It's not the large neutral zone that we play sort of as opposed to European and world rule set, but you know, that high court presence can definitely reward you a lot in the game.
And a great dodge to get them 4 as well. Let's see what they do. Oh, although they've only thrown 2, I think that's a good call from Storm. They want to keep 2 balls. The last thing they want is to have Meteors having 4 repeatedly. As anyone who's ever played them knows, that is not a good combination of things when you're the opposition. We're here to go 4 again. Let's see if they can make the most this time.
Oh, and they could have had the hold there. The hold comes in from the side of Storm 2 because then they would have been gifted the 5-ball play. But yet again, Storm not sort of taking those hits and they've got the 4 balls in hand.
And a double from a pre-throw. Great hit there. And it looks like Simon might have hurt himself. Jones, 23, you can see in the bottom right of your screen. He's feeling that elbow. Good block there. Safe throw. Nathan thinks he's hit him. No, block's called by ref. No other line refs gave it either. This is a big start for Storm 2. Around halfway in the set. I don't think many people had a 4-2 to start first set.
It's a great start for Storm 2. Like you said, that ball from Nathan David there, borderline invalid, but refs are fine with that. That invalid will come when it's played without a meter.
Play 2, a good play 2 from Storm there. Oh, great hit from Sai. We didn't give him the catch he was looking for, but he just couldn't get out of the way. Yeah,
and it's that experience that you get from both of these boys on the side of Meteors that it's going to prove ever deadly as this set goes on. The ball pops up, but he can't quite get his hands on it. Nathan David does punish for that.
But did he go a little early with the pre-throw, maybe?
I think so. He's left himself in that position that's very hard to move out of. Nathan David obviously takes advantage on that.
Block again. Oh, and a hit on Wyatt. What's on the whistle? And that's really unfortunate for Storm 2 there. They played really well throughout. Controlled it, I thought, quite nicely, actually.
And they didn't. It was in that dying 30 seconds where Storm really fell apart. It was where Meteors, like we said, the experience of Nathan David and Simon Jones really pulled through. This Storm team, you know, have been playing. Some of these boys have been playing for a very long time. Yeah, so Meteors obviously go 2-0 up there in that game. A win in that 3-minute set will give you the 2 set points.
You're right, though. There is a lot of experience knocking around that Storm 2 team. You look at Jake White over at 6. He's been around the game around the same amount of time as me, so, you know, around a decade, give or take. So he adds a lot to this team, a nice calming presence for them. Because obviously, like you saw in that last set, things got a bit heated, but he kept his head well. And that's a great pre-throw, as we've said that. What is the opposite to a commentator's curse?
Commentator's blessing.
Yeah, and that's what's just happened there on a pre-throw on Christofferson.
And that's all they need. Storm just have to dodge that single ball, and it's what Storm, I guess, will probably do very well in this game. Simon Jones goes low, but maybe a little too early. The ball sort of rises up. So yet again, Storm ahead in this set.
And that's really good safe throws. You know, Nathan set himself in a catching position. And the throws from Storm 2 have come in. There's no way he's catching that unless he pulls off something miraculous. But there's also no danger of invalid. It's an undervalued skill, I think, sometimes. Let's see now, 6 on 3. How long we got? About a minute played as well.
Yeah. But do not count Storm 2 out of this. Meteors out of this because obviously they were 4 on 2 in that last set. Storm obviously turned that. Meteors turned that around.
All 5 balls for Meteors.
So 2 players down. Will they make a hit here? And they do just that. Great timing, great throw-in.
How's the ball retention staying here? Storm have at least 1. I think they're going to have a second coming in. It's under the table. What's Scott's decision? Back to Meteors. 4 for them again.
And
again.
Meteors playing very smart dodgeball. They're not playing too aggressive. They'll play their own game. They're picking off players 1 ball at a time. And if they do throw the 2, look at that. Great timing. Some great dodging from the side of Storm 2.
Oh, and a great catch.
Hands around.
It's an unbelievable catch. Nick follows up with a good hit to keep it only a 1-player deficit. I don't feel like Nathan's done a lot wrong there. It's a good target. He's up court. It's a good running counter. Just sometimes a good catch is just a good catch.
Yeah.
And they finish it.
Yeah, really smart play because obviously Joe Brown is left stranded. He's not even started his track back because it's a tough one, because when you think you've got caught, you almost stop everything. It's almost like you should be playing to the referees, but it's that reaction that, oh, I've been caught, I'll just stop, my hands will go up. In that play just there, he does just that. Joe Brown, oh,
that's unfortunate, isn't it? He's a really good aggressive hit there from Storm 2.
Yeah,
And
it's the pop-up from Tim
yeah.
Baird.
Oh, good dodge there. Nearly blocked into his own teammate inadvertently.
Good reactions on that,
yeah, really good.
But 2 set points apiece after that Storm winning that last set.
It's smart from Storm though. They're now controlling their ball possession a little better. They're not giving Meteors 4. They saw in the first set what happened when they kept giving them 4 and 5.
I mean, if Meteors had calmed down a little, I think they probably would have got 4 from that. But
let's see what happens here. And substitution that we didn't mention there, Dan Evans on for Nathan Christopherson. Just shows the strength and depth, doesn't it? With Brett not available today, you can see him in the coach's box there. Hopefully get well soon. Oh, great double hit. But they can bring on someone like a Dan Evans still.
yeah,
That extra power arm from that side. Well, yeah, good from Storm. They're off Tim into Joe, I believe.
Storm close within these sets here. That third one just from Simon Jones, that delayed ball coming in. Just make sure they get the hit.
It's a really good delay ball from Sai. It's a tactic that I feel like has come into play much more in the last kind of 12 months. You've got you're going to throw 3, you're going to throw 4. You'll pick your target and you'll make it clear who's going to be the delay throw, just to get that movement, just in case. Because that way you can always hold if you get the hit initially. But here we are, 2-2, and we're nearly at the halfway point of the half, about there now.
Yep. Those that 30-minute game, obviously, 2 15-minute halves, each half comprised of those 3-minute sets.
Yeah, a good 1-for-1 there. I don't think any Storm player is going to mind a 1-for-1 in this
against
game
Meteors. No, exactly that.
A substitution for Storm as well. Billingham's on, who you can see in position 4 without the knee pads. I'm still trying to get my head around if I could play without knee pads.
My knees have fallen apart on it. I finally bought new knee pads. I had new knee pads. I had knee pads for a long time. They started to fall apart. Finally purchased some new gel knee pads. And that was nearly a catch. Dan Evans responds.
Wow. Absolutely clinical from Dan there, isn't it?
Really
Absolutely
smart.
clinical.
Smart dodgeball. He set himself perfectly, drops low. He knows those balls are coming, but a good catch from the side of Storm takes out Nick Mester.
But that's big for Storm, because that brings back in Jake, who is arguably, their strongest player, arguably the most well known as well within the team. So that's the player they'd like to come back on at any point. So let's see if he can catch anyone again. Oh, great throw from Dan.
Yeah, just clips on the sort of elbow. He blocks the first one. It's when they're in that great position. If you're hit by one, that one that's collided just there, he's hit by the second. Nice timing from Meteors and showing a bit of class and discipline.
Yeah, that's really well done from them. You could have forgiven them for losing that first set, for trying to turn it up a little bit and go up the gears. Instead, no, they've just collected themselves, look, they're taking a breath, and they're just playing at a really methodical pace, which we don't always associate with this Meteors team sometimes.
I think they used to be quite well known for that aggressive play style, very erratic. It was hard to sort of judge in how they'd play. These days, it's a lot about assessing the situation and the team you're up against before you really start to pick them up. It's some of the greatest sort of tactical minds behind it. Ball pops up.
Interesting call from the ref. They've given Jake out. They gave a double hit from Dan off the start. From here, it looked like he blocked him, but he did block it into his teammate, which was given. But yeah, given out. Scott's made the decision. I'm not too happy in the Storm out box at the moment, but you have to go with the ref's call.
Oh, and
It's a
Tim Day.
good single.
Yeah, drops an absolute cherry of a ball.
I mean, if there's ever a position to do it, it's probably about now when you've got this kind of swing, when you've still got 5 left on.
Yeah.
He knows he should be taking those in a game like this at a Super League level. Good block, good jump.
Yeah.
Storm, I've noticed that on that left-hand side, a lot of the Storm players are jumping quite high to start with. And I feel like the Meteors lads are clocking onto it quite quickly.
And just in that play, assessing from Meteors to Storm, you see Christopherson, it's not just the small dodge, it's the huge leap out the way, because he knows the 3 balls of Storm are going to come nice and timed. So if Christopherson can get all the way out of it, then he knows that he's very clear of those balls that are coming. Unlike the other side, where you sort of that delayed ball from Meteors from Simon Jones earlier on, you know Simon Jones is then going to track the player a lot more.
Yeah, they've bounced back strong here from that kind of first set wobble. The second set as well, they gave a little bit away, but like you said, the experience and class of these players is coming through. Like we said at the start, the Storm 2 team are full of talent. There's a mixture of uni players, I know former uni players as well. Like you said, Billingham who came on. Whoa.
Ball pops up for way too long. He was bobbling it in his hands, but when you're down in that sort of like on your back position, it's hard to sort of judge where the ball might ping next.
Nice dodge there. 3 balls now to Storm. See if they take it. We're just slight issue on the right with the 5th ball stuck in the net. And now time paused. So in the real battle of Ian Barrett versus the net, the clear winner's been shown there. Right, big chance for Storm here. 4 balls. I believe even on players. Yeah.
The 4 balls. Oh, and Tim Day finally does pick up the catch. No players out for Meteors, but the 1 player out for Storm. Unlucky there from a 4-ball attack. It's where you've seen those 4-ball attacks where Meteors have been so clinical. Joe Brown and Christopherson tumble over each other on their track back. Not quite the coordinated Meteors that we've seen time and time again.
No, not quite. I'm glad they can find the funny side. The thing is, it's okay to check everyone's all right and then laugh about it. How many times have we seen someone do that and there goes an ankle, a knee, a shoulder?
Especially, when it's a jump and you land into someone. That's when the injuries happen.
At the Open last week, we had the same thing in our game. We were playing against MK and Sam Coppings slid low. Jamie's gone high and just landed 2-footed straight on his ankle.
Just what you want.
Perfect, isn't it? Day out to Hartford.
That's it.
Get crunched. It's good middle ball running, I've noticed, a lot from here.
Yeah.
Although Storm 2 are throwing that first single from middle a lot in the game, and they're getting punished for it now because they've clocked on.
They think they hit Dan Evans, but it isn't. It's called just as a block.
Oh, and he's jumped into that face first.
Yeah.
Oh, he hasn't gone. Dan Evans has done very well to stay alive there. Falling over that close to the neutral zone. I think good cover from Nathan coming forward. Just giving that bit of protection. Free throw hit on Joe, I believe, there.
So only 1 player down. Now Storm 2. They are 10-2 down in this game. Single ball comes in.
That's a really good hit from Nathan there. Nathan David on the left, foot number 14.
And he finds that perfect time to take the standing every time. He assesses the player that he's, playing up against. It's really what separates sort of not the lowest player, but that is sort of at the bottom of Super League when you're into that sort of standard. And there is a huge leap sort of from the top of Super League to the bottom. As time goes on, Super League will very, very clearly become, every game could go each way. And for some games, you still do have that. But at that top tier caliber of teams, it's really what separates from the rest.
Yeah, it's a real education, especially when you're, say, normally playing for a uni team at a club like Storm with so many members. Great catch from the Dan from the start there in the middle for Storm. There's a lot of the players who have played at other clubs, play at unis currently, who don't have the exposure to this league a lot, and it is a steep learning curve when you go from playing uni league to staring down a team of international players. There was a really nice catch from Storm, but then they've given away the 5th ball, but they've done really well to not lose anyone off the back of it.
They've given away the 5th ball. Christopherson's got the hit from the single, but does that... that's a hard one to take, and Christopherson then takes the catch. It's catch after catch for the side of Meteors.
Tim Day with a catch and block. There's another great take there.
That is a great catch.
That's 2 for him this set. 1 off Nathan and Dan. I think that finished 4-3 or 4-4.
4-4, yeah. 15 minutes away from Meteors taking 2 from 2 today. I'm not sure the result in the other Storm game. I didn't quite catch it.
Storm wons. Very narrowly lost to Manchester Bees in their second match. They were down quite a lot at half time. They won 3 or 4 in a row, and then that minute set. So they ended up losing by 2. They had to try and force it, and it went against them. So a very good day for Manchester Killer Bees, talking about top of the league. In terms of trying to cement that 3rd position, then winning 2 and some of their near challengers not winning 2 is massive.
And a nice catch.
Storm don't seem to want the 3rd ball, do they? They seem happy playing with 2.
I think against net you don't really. I think because you're always going to get it.
Yeah. Good block from Joe there.
Yeah. Defensive sort of block into the ground.
I don't think that's a catch. I'm going to say I'm pretty sure he landed off court. It's unfortunate. He went for it. Maybe should have left that to his teammate next to him, number 37. That's very unfortunate for Jake, though. Good lead from Tim.
Yeah.
He saw the
hands go out slightly. He does look for it, but then probably decides against it after he dodges the first one.
Oh, there it is from Si. It's a really good take there. After Tim getting hit, that's what you need, isn't it? Just re-establish that player lead. And it brings back Dan Evans. Oh, Joe couldn't quite make it. So a 2 for 1 in favour of Storm there, somehow.
Yeah. Only that one player down now, but they do have 3 balls. Could be 4 if they get this one. Ooh.
Oh, that feels a bit harsh.
That feels a little rough on that one.
Yeah, from this angle, that looks okay. I know Nick thought it was, and I can see if you're kind of backtracking, you probably are thinking that's invalid, but that feels right on the edge there. I've seen worse ones not given.
Yeah, for sure. It's always it's sort of sometimes always who calls louder, but obviously it is called in the end. Ref decision always final here.
Absolutely. Whether you agree with it or not, you just got to go with it. The refs will make their calls, and obviously we thank people who do ref for their time. Sometimes it's a very thankless job. Solid. They're the ones he was dropping first off.
Yeah, exactly. He started finding his rhythm when he found that one catch. It's sort of that mentality that you start looking at. But 4 on the side of Meteors now.
Tim holding that high line. Oh, I thought he'd taken that.
It almost looks like he does take it to start.
That's unfortunate. He's picked the right one to go for. Good body position.
Yeah, set himself perfect.
Absolutely. Sometimes they just don't stick. Good block there from Billingham. Eventually a 1-for-1. They was so quick up court then, the Meteors boys. Like, what do you do if you're the Storm 2 player in that position?
Do you get out of the way?
Do you try and throw yourself out the way? Do you throw your body at a catch? Like, what's a great return there.
Now only 2 down. Storm have, in the sets that they have lost, they've really started to look at trying to, gap their way into it by, these certain catches. That ball I would
say that looks more.
I think when it's definitely as it's gone off court, but it's a hard one to a 1-for-1 yet again. Tim Day at centre court does not find the catch.
I've heard a few people talking about that this year. When people like to do, the kind of waste balls when they're up in sets.
Yeah. It's the defensive one ball, isn't it?
Where do you draw the line about it being an invalid in terms of going off court? How close is it? If it's going straight off court, is it still within a metre? At the moment, that's the rule. Is that something that might get looked at? Because there's a lot of people who are thrown with no intention to hit from there. It's a tactic that I think most teams do when they're up, and it's a sensible one. I think it's something that might have to get looked at moving forward. It's a great catch in the middle again. He's taken a few today. I believe he's an Imperial player as well.
I think a lot of them do come from the old Imperial sort of. They were the feeder club to Storm for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of the founding members are all Imperial boys, aren't they? And a good hit to follow up.
What is going on from Meteor's dropped every single thing that's come their way this set.
I mean, that's all happened in about 30 seconds? We have a 6-on-2. Yeah, well left. The temptation is, isn't it, when everyone in your team's catching, you think, I want one as well.
Especially a 6-on-2, you happily look at taking a catch early on, because if you do that, and Tim Day, as we say that, everyone dropping everything, Tim Day does just that. That
was the commentator's curse from the last set. Nathan would have wanted that counter a bit quicker. He's not been able. It's a good hit, though. It's what he needs to do before that ball comes back in. One in now. Good lead from Jake. Yeah, good fakes.
Just applying that pressure. Just making sure that Christopherson is pushed back to the back of the court. Free balls now. Free balls all coming at once.
I think that's a block, though. Yeah, good dodge there. It's a hit. And he snatched it. Great way to finish the set. That's a really strong set from Storm 2 there. If you're Meteors now, just dust yourself off and...
I think just calm things down. Don't go for everything. Now's the dodging sort of time. You've lost that momentum.
Jake's managed to get the one ball, and Simon's giving him the second. Again, not sure how much they meant that, but that's not a bad start for Storm there.
Yeah. Considering they weren't really ready at the start of the set.
No. And Simon, that's a drop from Simon, and a hit on Nathan. 2-for-1. Yeah, you'll take that every day of the week.
Every day of the
and
week.
Twice on Sundays if you are Storm 2 at the moment.
Catch and out first. Nick Nesta.
Really strong that. Meteors need to calm this down a little bit now, don't they?
40 seconds have gone and they're already 3 players down.
Really good fakes there. Good dodge from Dan Evans, though. Here we go. Not very aggressive, that counter, it felt like.
I think he is hit there. I think it hits his back. Okay.
So Finn, the line ref, I think was giving that as a hit.
But I think...
But Macaulay...
Yeah, Harrison and Meg White
both said no, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's always the hard thing, isn't it, as when you're there, like if you're the centre refs, obviously this court is your responsibility.
Yeah.
But then again, you have your line refs there for a reason. It's where do you draw the line between who makes that final call. And we're down to just Nathan again.
One of the Storm players does just think he gets caught by Dan Evans, but Dan Evans was already out in that play. Christopherson looks for a little fishy.
He thought about it. It's a good safe throw again, what we're talking about. Yeah, good block, double running. Good catch from Nath.
Time in there.
Catching out there brings back Nathan David. 3-on-1. And a catch made again.
Great reactions there from Storm 2.
Whoa, so that is two really strong sets in a row from Storm 2.
15-7 now. But a timeout called from Meteors, and a good timeout. Just stop any momentum Storm 2 have picked up in those past couple of sets.
If you're the Meteors lads now, what are you saying here? Because they're throwing the aggressive singles as we know they do, and is their game. But obviously, these last two sets, it just hasn't worked.
I think the aggressive sort of.
Did you see that as well? I'm glad you saw that on that one.
A cartwheel on another court there, but if you're Meteors there, I think you need to play a defensive single ball now. Just throw to miss. You're not trying to wipe them out. You're not trying to eliminate. Just hold on to those sets that you do have.
Storm 2, I felt like they've tried to have two balls quite a lot. I feel Meteors might be better served doing the same thing now.
Yeah.
And because they back themselves in a double running, every day of the week. I think that's where they're at. And it's not a bad system for them. It's worked for them against the teams higher up the league, hasn't it? So. But the second half, Meteors would have hoped for so far. They're still in control of the game, sets-wise. Hit from Joe, miscommunication
What is going
again.
on with that start from Meteors? Their heads are falling apart in the past couple of sets. That calm and controlled Meteors that we've seen time and time again, we're not seeing a 1-for-1 and a good trade.
Absolutely a good trade there. Like we said in the first half, any 1-for-1 at this point I think is quite good. There it is. That's what we've been waiting to see in this second half a little bit. There's a 2-for-none from Meteors there. Again, though, the Storm lad, that 37 who got hit second, if he stays set up, that's probably a catch. Or it's very, very easily, more of a catch chance.
Yeah, he's gone for Tim Day's ball first. Maybe probably not the one because it's more out of your sort of catching zone. Good jump, though, and a sort of two-step throw.
Good from Simon. Stayed back, collect the balls, get possession.
Don't need to rush, don't need to pressure anything, because that's where Storm 2 have really started looking at taking those catches.
Yeah, good block there off the 2-ball attack. That's really strong. What's been given here?
I think he's hit there.
Has he hit
No
Nick?
way is that a catch.
Who's claiming a catch, Nick?
Nathan David.
Oh, Nathan David.
Catch on that. That's why Joe Brown has then come back onto court. I thought he's dropped the ball that's actually that's been thrown.
Yeah, I mean, I wish this is where you need a live action replay kind of set, isn't it? From our vantage point, it didn't look particularly like a catch. But I don't think either of us were particularly looking for it either. Trying to have another quick look now.
So the ball that is thrown,
do they hit in the air?
Yeah, I think
and it
so.
goes into him?
I think so. And it hits his hand. It definitely hits his hand.
So from our vantage point, there's a ball bouncing near Nathan. The Storm player makes a throw, and he hits the ball that's in the air. But the game's restarted. They've given the catch. The game has restarted. Storm soon, they need to keep their heads here. I can understand the frustration with the decisions there. I understand that, but they've played too well now to let it go to a heads
It's always
loss.
hard to sort of challenge the ref in that, because when you sort of call something like that, you're always going to see it from your winning perspective.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you're never going to go, oh, do you know what, he did take that catch, because that's just not how your mind works. So the refs have obviously got the clearer picture. They've given that as a catch, obviously the 4-on-1 then.
Yeah, they're asking for a replay down there. And we've watched it back a couple of times, and we're still not overly sure what happened, to be honest. Anyone who's on the stream, please rewind and try and send in a comment. I'd love to see your thoughts on that. But yeah, like you said, in a game like this, the team who do the throwing will always call hit. The team doing the catching will always call catch. It's very rare you see a player give the opposition the decision they want, so it's the nature of the game. The refs just have to call through it and go from where, which I think they've done mostly. You know, you might not always agree with the refs, but as long as they're you know, they're committed to their decision. I'd always rather have someone who backs themselves and then gives in to players there. Unfortunately, the chat is not active at the moment, so when this eventually goes onto YouTube, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And always like and subscribe. That's a catch it back at court. Dan Evans, he's not even stood up. Like,
has that just come out of his hand? Like,
no, he was pre-thrown at the middle player there. But I don't know if the throws made him fall over, if he just did it from a kneeling position.
Yeah.
But then Simon gets hit on the follow-up, and there, and blocked from Joe into Nathan. It was good honesty from Simon because the catch came in. He might be able to try and do it the other way, but
and he's picked up the catch. And
so he's hit. Joe was hit on the pre-throw, but I don't think that was a catch.
Doesn't matter, 1 for 1 nonetheless. 3 players up still.
Yeah. Tim's managed to avoid that one. Oh, ball's got a good hit from Nathan. Right, 3 on 2. Much better. Here we go. Who's got the third ball at the moment? Refs are just deciding.
Three balls in the hands of London Storm 2. Single ball fired at.
That's a great dodge from Billingham there as well. Good hit, good dodge reactions.
And now 5.
I think all 5 balls there. Let's see what Nathan can do. It's not an envious situation he's in.
But he'll be looking for 1.
Yeah, I think here at this point you've got to pick who you're going for, haven't you, and commit to it a little bit if you're going to go for a catch. He goes for a nice dodge.
No hits there. He's looking for the one that's coming in that bread bar, in that central zone when he's made that jump. None sort of come his way, so he decides to.
Good high pressure from Storm. So talking about unis, I know Billingham 45 is a graduate of Nottingham Uni of Notts, and I think that's got to be one of the more heavily populated unis, I'd say, in this hall.
Yeah.
It's got to be up there, hasn't it?
And a block there. 2 balls.
He gives the ball off, yeah, good block there. A good safe throw. I don't know if there's a bit of miscommunication there. It's a good block from Jake. Nathan's left him up. Oh.
I wouldn't have thrown there personally.
No, I wouldn't either. I would have faked and come back. I feel like Storm have to just take a breath here.
Yeah.
There you go, 3 balls now. No hits, good block.
From what I've heard and received in our non-VAR officials, apparently it's been slowed down, does not catch the throw, but unfortunately the ref made the decision here, and that is the final decision. The privilege of VAR, or the non-privilege of VAR.
I mean, with him again, I feel there's been a lack of consistency in this game with what is valid and what's invalid. I can see why Nathan's got a slight issue there. I feel if I was in his position, already down set, he's gone very high. You know, is that within a metre? But the refs have deemed it no, and this has been a hell of a second half for Storm 2.
$17-9.
Right, let's see if Meteors can have a slightly better start this time.
17-9, in and around a minute left on the clock.
Good aggressive throw, good dodge from Simon there, nice low. Good. Ooh.
That looked like a
Harrison's called it as the line ref. It looked from here, didn't it? And it sounded like it. Three balls now for Meteors. They want a big hit here. They've got 2 hits. Much more clinical than what we're used to. 3 balls again. Dan Evans with a bit of a jump, like pump kick jump throw there. Don't see many of those under pressure from the pre-throw. Oh, he wanted the counter, but there's no one with him. He hasn't got a teammate up. It's a big hit there.
And Meteors take that set and the final set of the game. Final score 19-9. not the dream result the Meteors were after, and a great game from Storm 2,
Really
unfortunately. Doesn't find them the win, but it's sort of a good mental game.